No Means No Podcast, episode 7. Boys, we're back with an unprecedented Wednesday night session.
It has been a struggle for every single one of these.
Literally, every single one is a struggle.
Well, it's just really hard to get 4 people's schedules to line up for 2 hours, apparently.
Well, especially when, like, 2 of the people's schedules are completely abnormal to what, like, a regular workday would be to most people.
I think Tommy's the root of the problem.
Well, his schedule is just absurd, and it's going to get worse.
How so?
He says once summer starts, it gets really bad for his
Really?
work schedule. Yeah.
That's not good.
They say that the bar like loses people or just needs him a lot more, and so he's a hot commodity at the bar.
AKA, Dommy's appearances may become less frequent.
We'll get him
Yeah,
on.
it's gonna be tough.
But
I mean, I'm not
we'll
keeping the job anymore soon. Like, I can do day streams, you know?
That's right.
That's
Big
true.
deal. The day recording sessions work. And pretty much daytime anything works better for me because, yeah. I mean, it's like literally in the period, I work in the period that you would want to do it.
Yeah, you and Dommy both work in the period where most people are done at work and they've eaten dinner and now they have free time.
Right. So in my
tricky.
opinion, it's a 2-to-1, and Sean's the one with the weird schedule.
Whoa. Well, like,
From my perspective, I'm anticipating, a couple months into the future, I'm going to have a regular workman's schedule, like I'll be in medical school, but it'll be 8 to 4, and then
after, like, what are you going to do after school? Like, besides homework and stuff?
yeah, I mean, I'm going to work out, study, hang out with Lexi, watch TV.
Don't pull a Colin on us now.
It's going to be brutal. Like, it is going to be brutal. I mean, the studying, just the amount of time. I mean, I spend 4 hours in lectures and then 4 hours in a lab every day.
Oh, fun.
Basically, I'm super excited, but it is going to be, I mean, like, we're talking, I don't like, I'm fine with getting up early and going in, but I really don't like missing out on sleep. And so I'm going to be going to bed at, 11 o'clock, getting up at 7. So it's like, I can no longer, especially being in Eastern time and you guys in Central, I'll be going to bed and then a half hour later you guys hop on. So like, it's going to be tricky.
Well, I'm going to be in Eastern time.
Trust, Sean will be in Eastern time for sure.
We may have to miss Lucas on a couple episodes here and there.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Fuck
When
him.
school starts, we'll see what happens.
In reality, it's only my schedule that matters.
Right. No, it is. It is. I mean, not
'Cause
only are you the most important member of the podcast group, but you got the setup.
I got the setup. Like unless we hook somebody else up with the setup, which is possible.
Well, yeah, you're coming to visit, so it would be wise if I was also hooked up.
Yeah. That's how we're gonna do it for the podcast in next weekend, I think. No, the following one. Not next week, but the one episode 9 is gonna be a live in person. Lucas and I sitting next to each other. Unprecedented episode of the pod. So
I'm so excited.
yeah, so that'll be new and fun and exciting. I have a new camera set up. You're probably thinking, wow, Zach, you look 50% sexier.
The straight on look.
The straight on look. But yeah, I've got like the camera sitting on a tripod on top of like 2 or 3 boxes behind my monitor.
Oh,
I still hope it falls.
yeah.
Dude, it's really hard to fall now. But like before, it was literally sitting just over here on top of my speaker.
You guys know the cameras I set up that I was complaining about for like a couple weeks?
Yeah, so Sean has
How are
a
they
job
doing?
that requires him to go to various places and set up cameras.
And again, my title is Business Development Manager, Head of Marketing Department.
Yeah,
And I'm over
AKA
here like
audio
schlepping.
video tech.
Yeah, I mean,
Head of marketing and IT solutions.
it's part of it, but the problem is I'm not good at the IT solutions. Like I'm really bad at it. And the only reason I'm doing it is because all my superiors are between ages like 45 and 60.
Are you bad at it, or do you just not like it?
Both. And that's not a good combination to have, for tech.
It's a horrible combo, actually.
Yeah, and honestly, the worst part is I've gotten like slightly better at it, like to the point where I'm like, not, a complete moron when it comes to IT stuff. So I can handle a lot of the stuff they give me, and it's like, I don't have the audacity to say no. But anyways, we have one meeting a day, and where we use the cameras like for sure. And middle of the meeting, one of the cameras fell today, and thank goodness I was right by, and it was the camera I was at in Champaign, and I was next to it, and I grabbed it and picked it up and put it back up there, and my directors didn't notice it or anything, but I mean it just it fell like at least like 6 or 7 feet, like.
Oh no.
It must have been really funny to see on the call.
Who set that up?
Yeah, and it was like I put it up on there and just didn't screw it into the back of the TV and was like, it looks fine, it's not gonna
Nobody will notice.
And of course, it falls during the freaking call. So, but
you know what you need to do when you leave is unscrew all of them. You see them. So the cameras are just falling left and right when
sabotage
you leave.
Everything.
Well, I feel bad. Like today, I felt bad because I was so unmotivated all day. Like it's just like, how am I supposed to keep schlepping through this? Like, and today was just kind of a slower day anyway, which just happens, but it's like, man, trying to schlep through a slow day of like, I'm researching a whole, the contrast. I do the cameras, and then today I'm researching our entire ERP system, which is like everything. And like, it's like between $60,000 and $80,000 to get this whole system implemented. And they wanted me for some reason, just I'm young, to be in charge of this project. And I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just like on all these calls and like doing research about these ERP systems that I don't know anything about, that control our inventory, point of sale, all this crap. And it's like, man, I could barely get through the day today. And I left early too, just because I just can't do it. But
that's brutal. Yeah. I mean, it's like you've got senioritis.
Yeah, I that. And it's sad, like thinking about the contrast between how I felt today and like how I felt on like my second week of the job. Like week 2, some of the stuff I was pumping out was nuts, and then it's like, man, I couldn't do the reports today. But it is what it is. I'll just keep doing what I can.
Yeah, the motivation.
Absolutely. Are you guys familiar with the disgraced Dr. Alfred Kinsey at all?
I've heard that name.
Yeah, I would say I've heard the name. I don't know though.
Okay, so he's a famous American sexologist from the 1940s.
Okay.
And he's responsible for a lot of like sex, gender studies, stuff like that. And he, before being disgraced as a doctor, created what he believed to be an accurate quiz to determine how gay you are.
No way.
Let's take the quiz.
Yeah, let's go.
I say we take this quiz and see just how gay we are. So I've got on the screen here, I'm going to send you guys a link to it here once I find it.
I feel like if you ruled straight, that's kind of sus. Like if you ruled 100% straight on the gay test, like, I don't know.
Yeah, then it seems like maybe you're trying to hide something.
Right.
Right. I'm just prepping you all for my extremely gay.
I actually feel like you should probably be, I don't know, 80% gay, if I had to guess.
So I'm going to send a linky link here. Actually, I'm not going to. What I want, you guys just do it because it'll fuck with the whole layout and everything. Just search Alfred Kinsey gay test.
Okay.
Very important test.
Kinsey scale test?
Yeah, the IDR Labs test is the one we're looking for.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Pop that up.
This is interesting.
So it's available in a few languages. In case
So it's only 7 questions. I'm taking this?
Yeah, apparently there's only 7
It's
questions.
only 7 questions.
Right.
I guess it can't be that
So
hard
this,
to determine, right?
They developed the heterosexual homosexual rating scale, also known as the Kinsey scale, in order to account for research findings that showed that people did not fit into exclusive heterosexual or homosexual categories, but more that they exist on a spectrum.
Interesting.
So, question 1. To whom are you attracted?
Okay.
Both men and
No.
women. I guess I'm going only... who am I attracted? So how do you define attracted? Like
That's a good. So, I think about this a lot. It's like I can determine whether a man is objectively hot or not.
Right.
And I'm not talking about like body, like physique or anything. Like I'm talking like if you look at a guy in the face, I can tell you, yes, that person is attractive, and no, they aren't. So like, what does that mean?
Yeah, this
Right.
is an open. Yeah, it's not a very specific question, but like, to whom are you attracted? Right? It's not
Right.
who are you able to find attractive. It's like, to whom are you attracted?
So
Right.
I'm going only people of the opposite sex from mine. I think that's where
Yeah,
I'm at.
me
I think that's
too.
I
accurate.
did this, man. The funny thing is when I went to click it, I almost clicked the same sex as mine. I just clicked
Oh, a little Freudian slip.
Whoa.
bias, but
All right. Who have you had sex with? Both men and women. Both men and women, but I prefer people from the opposite sex. Both men and women, but I prefer people from the same sex or exclusive.
well, there's not an option for me.
What's your option?
Well, I mean, as a pure saint.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll say, who would you have had sex with?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Thank you
Absolutely.
for clarifying, Lucas.
All right.
and
We'll
I'm
go
gonna
with,
go with-
only people of the opposite sex.
Yeah,
That's where I'm
definitely.
at.
I'm wondering when we're gonna veer off. Like, are we just gonna have the same answers?
It'll veer. Zach, I'm curious. How did you stumble across this ear test?
I researched stuff for the show, guys. Like I
Guys, this
researched a
is
lot of stuff
important
for the show.
research.
Interesting.
Guys,
There's different
it's
tests going
literally
on.
it's just for the show, guys. Like, come on,
Yeah,
let's be
yeah.
serious, guys. It's just for the show
Just,
and for stuff in my free time. But who have you had sexual fantasies about?
Okay, so like with this one,
John, hit me.
What, I mean,
Talk to me.
I have not had sexual fantasies about men.
now, do you guys ever have those intrusive thoughts that you're trying not to have, where it's like
Yes.
you know, it's like the thought where you're in a room full of people and it's like, yo, scream right now, just scream in this quiet room full of people.
Right,
like,
right,
you know,
right,
those
right.
thoughts.
Or when you're driving on the highway and you are like, I should just veer into this semi that's coming at me.
Right. It's like,
Yeah,
dude, that
different-
could totally
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Like, it's like, just do it. Just do it. Fuck it. It's like, that's a ridiculous thought that you would never act on, but like your brain goes, what if you did? Just do it.
Yeah, just like crazy stuff. So I'm wondering, this hasn't happened to me. I don't remember. But like, what if you had one of those intrusive thoughts and it was like a weird sex thing with a dude?
Well, I've had that on purpose to try to de-escalate the situation, if that makes sense.
Excuse me?
I don't care to explain too much.
I'd like you to explain a little bit.
God, why would I say that? Okay.
I mean, what are you talking about?
Well, listen, there's sometimes there's situations where you need to de-escalate, right? And you ever heard of like the, think of grandma in the shower?
Oh, I see where you're headed with this.
Like that kind of thing. It's the same effect, right?
Ah. Okay, so you were almost doing it in a way that is antagonistic to this question,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Is
Almost
it still
in an
a sexual
anti-sexual
fantasy? I
manner.
mean, technically.
But I think you should
Interesting.
answer it like straight, like legitimately. You have had a sexual fantasy about a man.
I mean, 99.99% are people of the opposite sex, but I mean, that's not 100.
Yeah, go mostly. I say you
It's
go
not-
mostly on that.
Right,
That's
it's
a mostly
100,
for you.
right.
All right. With who, Lucas? Did you go only of the
No,
opposite?
I went mostly.
Okay,
I'm
good.
honorable.
No, I like
I did
that.
only.
I can agree with that. All right. With whom do you form strong emotional bonds? Ooh, this one's
Now
tough.
we're getting interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Strong emotional bonds. Those, I mean, that has to be mostly with
the same sex, right?
I want you guys to think about this for a second, because in terms of, I mean, so me today, in terms of emotional bonds, I have closer emotional bonds with my guy friends than I do with any girl in my life, including, I mean, I guess my sister a little bit, but I mean, sister, mother, even like, so that's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think I have to go with mostly same sex at this point, as far as strong emotional bonds. I mean, I've spent way more time, like, especially just coming out of college, like living in a dorm with a bunch of dudes. It's like you see guy friends way more often. It's much more convenient to talk to them and get to know them and form, strong relationships. So that's interesting.
I think mine's probably
tough, though, 6 months ago, if you asked me this question, I would have said mostly the other one.
I'd probably 35, 65, like women to men.
Mm-hmm.
Like 65% men.
And now I'm starting to question. Now I'm starting to wonder about this whole test, right? Their whole point is to like prove that everyone's on a spectrum. It's like, okay, well, if you're looking to make a spectrum, you can make a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like I said, he was disgraced. A lot of his research was considered to be.
Yes.
Okay, good point. I don't need to disgrace him anymore, do I?
Poor guy's dead and you're disgracing him.
All right, let's. I'm curious. What are you guys going with here? I think I'm going to go with mostly people of the same
sex.
I'm also going to go mostly.
Okay.
The same sex.
All right. Who do you feel most comfortable socializing with? Well, that's kind of an open-ended question. It's like, what do you mean by socializing? Like, do you mean like, I guess that means like if I'm at a bar, who do I feel more comfortable chatting with? Probably guys.
Yeah, that's probably a good like framework to go about the question, I would say. I mean, for me, I almost exclusively socialize with guys right now.
Right, me too.
Yeah, this probably is another one that's mostly same sex as mine.
I'm gonna lock that in.
Oh God, the next one's good.
The idea of having sex with someone of the opposite sex from mine is, oh God, desirable, interesting, tolerable, negative, and disgusting.
The interesting thing is the difference between negative and disgusting.
I agree. That's because that's where we're looking, right?
It does disgust me though. Like I feel repulsed by the idea of it, I would say.
Yeah. So okay, actually, hold on. Here, I've got a great example to walk through. So I just watched episode 3 of The Last of Us, the TV show, where it's Ron Swanson, right? Nick Offerman, full beard, long hair, survivalist guy, and his gay boyfriend, Frank, Bill and Frank, right? Which, by the way, this whole episode, I like, Zach, I get what you said last week about how like they have to fill story and stuff, but this was literally like an hour and 15-minute episode where it was literally just a gay romance. It could have just been a gay romance movie. They could have just written a whole movie. Like, I got to watch these two meet in an apocalypse, fall in love with each other, fend off zombies, get married, and then die in each other's arms. Like, it was literally the whole episode had almost nothing to do with the show. It was just a romance movie.
Yeah, very little Joel, Ellie.
It was very weird. It was weird.
I mean, literally one combined minute of them. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so weird. But so I'm watching that episode, right? And I can definitely say that I don't think it was just negative when I watched two men with beards kiss each other on this show. And they're like in bed together. I mean, I think I can definitely go with disgusting instead of negative.
And there's nothing wrong with you being disgusted by that, because evolutionarily, your brain is wired to not be into that because there's no way to have babies by doing
right.
that. So
my brain's like, hey man, we're not getting anywhere.
Dude, we cannot reproduce by that. The thought of having sex with a guy should be disgusting to him, so that he has sex with only women so that we have a better chance of progressing the species. That's why it makes sense, right?
In defense of the test, I will say that technically speaking, if you had a very negative view of it compared to you had a very disgusted view of it, it's the same output, like the same outcome.
It's true.
And you know, what I was thinking about, and this is where I thought you were gonna go with this, is what it was like. Rainn Wilson is straight, right? I think.
In the guy from The Office.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
But what do you? But that's not who is. It was Nick Offerman from Parks.
Oh, sorry,
Rec.
God, I switched him up. But either way, is Nick Offerman straight?
Yes,
he's got to be straight.
Sorry. Yeah, I switched them. They're almost the same type of character.
They are,
but,
very.
But you know, so for him, at minimum, he was able to tolerate it. You know,
yes,
for something, for some sort of reward or money or something. So like, there's a spectrum. There's somebody who you couldn't pay him any amount of money, and they would not have done what he did in the show.
I would have kissed a man for the TV show for $21,000 an episode or whatever Nick made for that episode.
Of course, but somebody else wouldn't, and that's in defense of our late Alfred Ginsing.
No,
spectrum.
I agree. Nick Offerman's tolerable,
right?
But the question then is, well, I guess he didn't have sex with him; he kissed him.
Yeah, it is different.
In the show,
that's massively different, actually. Because you kiss your dad on the mouth when you're a kid, you know.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's like you can kind of there is a difference, right? Especially when you're an actor and you are trying to be quote unquote a professional and you're making money and stuff. Like, you're not having sex with the guy, one, and two, you're a professional actor.
There's
so it's
probably
like,
no sexual feelings involved. Although I often wonder, like, the guys who are in
often.
Yeah, like, well, you're watching, Jennifer Lawrence, simulate sex with this other actor. It's like, dude, did you have a boner?
Yeah, dude. But I mean, yeah.
I watched a video about that, and apparently, from a girl's point of view, I can't remember what girl it was, but it was one of the super hot A-list actors
Anne Hathaway?
or actresses, and it was like sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And the lady said it was often conflicted because she was a little bit offended if they didn't, but also like felt awkward if they did too. So there's a funny video on that. That's
a lose-lose situation, in my opinion.
Yeah. Bad mindset
for everybody.
Okay, well, where are you guys at here? You're going disgusting?
Yeah, I'm going disgusting.
I'm going disgusting too, and that's okay. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like
it's
in
just 2023,
the fact that we put disgusting could be seen as like, well, that's just it's like that's just what my body prefers. Just like that's what a homosexual's body prefers as a guy. Like, they're probably disgusted by the thought of a vagina. So,
bingo.
All right, the idea of having sex with whoa. What's the difference?
Whoa. Oh, God. The last question we all missed. The last question said opposite sex.
Oh.
Wait, what?
It's disgusting.
All of us, all three of us read that wrong.
All right, so we'll flip the script here.
Wait, I'm going back through it. What just happened to us? Hold on.
Let's go back one. It says the idea of having sex with someone of the opposite sex from mine. And we were answering as if it was the same sex.
Well, I mean, it's just going to be desirable.
Right. You just got to change the answers, really.
The opposite sex, desirable, the same sex. Yeah.
All right.
That confused
That's
me.
it for me. I'm going to finish, see what it says here.
I think mine's the only one that's different. Oh, no, I got a 0 too.
You got a 0?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
Kinsey,
that's interesting.
So Kinsey's fucking wrong is what we're trying to learn here. Right?
I don't understand. He just asked a bunch of questions and then made up a spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, like, what could I have answered to make?
Well, let's read some of these categories.
Yeah.
Heterosexual. So a 1 is heterosexual with incidental homosexual tendencies. Is that not? How is that not us? I feel like that if that was his whole.
Yeah, well, we got like we can like I could cuddle with Zach and it's fine.
So like, was the only relevant question actually the sex ones at the end?
Yeah, it's like the other ones are just throwing you off. He's like, "Do you disgusting?"
And then you could share it on Facebook or Twitter.
Well, my thing is like I feel like even bisexual. I feel like even people who I've met who are bisexual have a preference, and it's almost saying that like a 3 here is exclusively bisexual in the middle of heterosexual and homosexual, and then all the rest are either homosexual or heterosexual. You know what I mean?
Well,
So his
I think
spectrum in
what
the
you're
first place
referring
is
to is
bad.
a 2 and a 4, which is
It's like-
probably where most bisexual people live.
More than incidental, yeah. But like if, isn't a heterosexual person with incidental like more than incidental homosexual tendencies just a bisexual person?
Yes, but they would but a number 2 prefers somebody of the opposite sex slightly more than somebody of their same sex, and the 4 is the
Okay.
opposite.
Okay, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, that makes sense.
I think
Okay,
this
that's
test
interesting.
sucks, and I think that I think this
I had
test
a great time
blows.
taking the test. Actually, I think it was well put together.
There's a lot of
It
thought,
was smart.
and then they have their references, which I think are interesting. Like, but I know this guy's kind of a quack. This Alfred Kinsey guy.
I searched silly test, and the first test is how silly are you? Are you suffering from silliness?
You get 5 points just for taking this test.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
plus
that's
5
awesome.
silly points just for taking it.
Just for showing up to the silliness test.
You're
because
probably
this is
feeling way
very
more silly
silly.
now.
Yeah, I feel like that last test should be like at least 100 questions with like scenarios and like
To
all
get an
sorts of
accurate
interesting.
answer, yeah.
It's for
Yeah.
dummies like us to complain about it. Is all it is.
I guess so.
I took when I started my job. I took a it's called a DISC assessment. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It's like a Tony Robbins thing, and my company actually paid $60 for me to take this thing. And it's like a full blown personality test, and it was really interesting. Like it was 80 pages long. The results of it.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had to
it's
take-
insanity, dude.
I took one of these ones, yeah.
But it's really cool to have. I like tests like that a lot.
Yeah, I took a personality theories class. That was one of my favorite psychology classes in college, just because it went through every single personality theorist, and it went through what they figured out and kind of what test they created and how they looked at personality. And so it's
The big 5.
obviously a ridiculously complex and large and, not necessarily objective field, but there is a lot of cool stuff. That class was really sweet. And yeah, like the big 5, like the big 5 was proven. Just the book even talked about it, how it was like tested for years and years and years, and it just like kept giving back really, really good results. The
Yeah,
big 5
it's-
personality
it's-
traits have been fairly well tested and proven.
It's the best one in my estimation.
Yeah, I think so too.
I have my big 5 from Dr. Jordan Peterson's website, which I paid $10 to take.
I should do that
He's
too.
like, basically, I think it's cool to know that stuff about you, but it's even cooler to know it about people that you know, because then you can kind of understand how they think, which is even more useful sometimes.
Yeah, that's why my company wanted something like that. Is because they can, if they use that as a framework for everything that I do, and I think that I'm not going to make it to a year, but I think they have everybody take it once a year. And if you use that as a framework going into every single task that gets assigned, even promotions, things like that, like just keeping it in the back of your mind, it can create a way more successful path for that employee, which is cool.
One thing that annoyed me when I went to Nashville was all these people talking about the Enneagram test. Sean, do you know what that is?
Mo?
Yeah, see, Zach, do you know what the Enneagram test is? 1 through 9?
The
get a number.
Enneagram?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
You get a number 1 through 9, basically, but you can have like, oh, I'm a 5, but I'm like a subsidiary 2 and 4. And all of them correspond to different personalities. And so I had all these annoying ass women just constantly talking about their numbers. And they're like, what are you? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never taken it. I've never heard of it. I'm whatever number will not be taking this test. They're like, you're a 5. And I'm like, shut the hell up.
Yeah, that's like astrology people.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Yes, it's so annoying.
Guys, listen, you know I'm not passionate about many things, right? Like in terms of like opinions, right? Like I'm always it could be whatever, you know. Like
yeah, you're very
there's not a good point on both sides of astrology. Okay, right. If you look at me in the face and you tell me that you believe in astrology, and I'm not saying like, oh, you think it's silly, because it is kind of silly, and like, oh, you know, haha, I'm a Libra, whatever, you know. Like if you go past that, I have no respect for you as a person. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, and I would never say it to a person. I would treat them the same as I treat everybody else. But in my head, I'm like, everything else past this is just respect gone. Like you can't tell me that, like, you know, flows into the crystal girlies and all that. I love crystals. Crystals are awesome. I think that looking at cool things can certainly, you know, make endorphins, whatever, and make you feel better about yourself. But if you're going to tell me that a rock is actually doing anything to you just by existing in your presence or something, you're a fucking idiot. Okay. And like, I just,
yes.
Yeah, the astrology is bad. I mean, we were watching one of those stupid ass cheesy Netflix shows. I think it's called Are You the One? It's one of those. It's like Love Island. It's like all of those just silly dating shows. And this chick is like, immediately basically is like, what are you? And he's like, well, what was your birthday? And he's like, whatever. And she's like, oh no, you're an Aries. Oh no. She's like, I dated an Aries and it did not go well. I need she had like literally 2 specific ones that she needed. And I was like,
the thing is,
I wanted to rip my hair out.
It's not just 1 in 12 either. It's 1 in 6. Cause like you're like, oh, your sun sign is one thing and your moon sign is another thing. So they're like, oh, you must be moon dominant or moon showing because you have more moon traits than you do sun traits of your specific sign. Therefore, so it's basically just a bunch
disease. Like, I'm serious. You know, honestly, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for astrology and for crystals and for all that bullshit, because it's an excellent filter for me.
That's a good point.
It's a great filter. And if I'm going on a date with somebody and they ever say a single goddamn thing about astrology or crystals that are not, astrology is kind of silly, or, oh, crystals are really pretty, then I just, you know, it's over. It's done. Right. You know, I could almost see somebody coming to me and being like, yeah, you know, if you're born in October, you're more likely, you have more time in the fall in your life, whatever. To this point in your life, you've had more time in the fall. Just some bullshit like that. Like, at least come up with something besides just like, like, you know what I mean? Like have some sort of correlation with the fact that you're born in a season because you're in Illinois, it's cold or whatever. And give me something. Don't give me just all this garbage.
Yeah, it is. You know what? You're right, though. It's almost like how there have to be stupid people for other people to look smart. You know, it's like, thank goodness that we can recognize who is really, really stupid.
I should just, if I'm ever interviewing anybody else, like, that should just be a question. Just like, so how do you, and I ask it like I'm into it. Like, so what's your sign and how do you feel about astrology? And that would be it. And how they answer, because if they hate it like me, they would say something like, well, I'm a Libra and I think it's kind of funny, or like something like that, right? And then it'd be like, boom, you're hired. But if they say anything other than that, done. That's a great.
Then you either know that they are that they believe in it, right? Or they're like kissing up to you and being fake, right? They're
fine. Good. You know, and you should be taking an interview realistically. If I ask that question and somebody says, well, I think it's fucking stupid, you know, because it's just like, like how it goes on the rant that I just went on, then that'd be concerning as well. But
yeah, that's true.
It's a perfect filter.
Yeah, that's funny.
I love it. Great interview question.
Sean's just coming up with his interview questions right here. It makes me think of I saw a tweet today that was basically like, you know, this doesn't sound good to say, but I feel like bullying has had a decline recently, and the freaks and weirdos are starting to take control.
I can't tell. Okay, hear me out. I can't tell, and I I want to agree with that, but I just can't tell if just the freaks and weirdos have a platform now or not, you know? Like,
Right.
which I feel like it's probably that. And I feel like kids just kind of always suck. But you know, I already talked about the bird dogs at Buffalo Wild Wings in my first podcast.
Just
you know,
a classic,
it's like
yeah, classic line.
you take away bullying, you get a bunch of fucking pussies. You know,
Can't have ranch on their bird dogs.
There's a level of bullying that needs to happen, but I don't like the word bullying. It's more like a
That's the issue. Yeah, it's more like
Social correction.
yeah.
yeah, that's it. I had the word social. I just couldn't get the next word.
Yeah, like some
Well, it's just
social
like that. It's like the
correcting.
primitive. It's like the primitive groupthink, or like just how humans operate in groups that you have to understand, and like in social settings. And some people just, you know, you can go through life and not understand that and isolate yourself, and it definitely wrecks you a little bit in the future.
Yeah. Do we need a new topic?
Sure.
Sean,
Oh God.
how much money would I have to pay you to star in one feature pornographic film?
Oh. Okay. All right. Can I have some clarifying questions?
Ask away. I've got answers.
Okay. First question: when you say feature, you really emphasize that. Like, is it going viral? I mean, I know it'll go viral because I'm in it. Like, I get that, but like, how
Right.
viral?
No,
are we talking?
it's going to be uploaded to one of the big company by one of the big companies.
Okay. Is it gonna get like promoted though? Is it like if you go on like the
I
For
would
You
say
page?
like
yeah.
what, you know, like I can't even think of an example. Like Penthouse, say like it's a Penthouse, you know, shot and filmed and everything. It's going up on all the websites on their profile, and you and by the way, a chick, by the way, not a guy.
Yeah, that's good. I was gonna get to those questions. I wanted to start with the demographics
are starring in it, and it'll be 28
okay.
minutes long.
28 minutes. All right, that's sufficient.
So you're gonna have to work out.
Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of time. Okay, let me. Where else do I go here? Can you see my face? That's a big one.
Briefly.
What a great answer! Like this is probably the most important question for me. So, like, how briefly? Like, can you pause the video and identify me?
Yes.
Or not? Is it you know? Is it one of these?
No.
Or is it
No.
slow pan? you
It's
know?
like, I think, picture the pizza delivery guy scenario.
Okay.
It's
okay.
a pizza delivery guy, and
Okay.
you're knocking on the door delivering some sausage pizza.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So is the girl? The girl's the star though. Like, I'm with like a
Yes, your
Very
favorite.
popular.
As a matter of fact, it can be.
my favorite.
Yeah, your favorite.
Oh.
You just pick one. Pick one that's your favorite.
Well,
Throw it in there.
I don't even have a favorite.
Yeah, but you're gonna pick a favorite, right?
Okay. Yep.
For your shoot, and that's gonna be
Sure.
the one. They're gonna be like, it's gonna be like you rubbed my belly because I'm a genie, and I summon all these girls, and I
don't think
line
that's how
them up
genies
for
work.
you, and you get to pick out of like a police lineup.
Okay, that's cool. But it's only one girl.
Yes,
I'm not gonna get any diseases. Nothing weird's gonna happen.
that never
Nothing-
happens. Actually, they get tested.
Oh yeah, because they'll get
very
tested
regularly,
like
yeah.
every single day, right,
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Well, if there's an outbreak of any kind of disease in the industry, I know this from listening to an episode of a different podcast. If there's an outbreak of any disease in the industry, they shut down filming for a week
Wow.
to get it under control. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a big deal.
So no,
Okay, so no diseases. Talking about the dollars, how much am I getting paid for it?
That's
That's
what I'm
the
asking.
question.
What's that?
That's what I'm asking. How much are you getting paid
that's
for?
that's the whole question.
How much are you getting paid?
Yes. How
Oh,
much are
man.
you getting paid? Or how much is it gonna have to be? for you to really think about this. Like your mom's
I'm
probably going to
thinking-
find out.
Well, that's well. How is my mom
She's
going to find
single.
out?
Someone's gonna bring it up. Oh man.
Okay, can I?
Because I'm going to text them a link to it after it's done.
Okay. Well, see, these are quite like. Why can't I have control over the links and just hope that nobody sees it?
Because
that would be
I've already decided that that's happening.
Oh God. Okay, so you're texting links to everybody. Everybody I know is going to see it.
You have to assume that everybody will see it because it's
What if it
unlimited
just gets-
syndication.
What if it just gets like sent out on his social medias, just the link?
Well, if it's just a brief face cameo, they might think I just got hacked or something. You know, like it doesn't say like John has sex with porn star. Like you know,
Sure,
it's a
right.
delivery guy. Okay. If here's all that matters to me. If my mom saw this, okay, it's going to be a very high dollar amount compared to if
Well,
I
your
have
mom
control.
doesn't have to
over
watch it, but she's gonna be aware that it happened.
it. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Okay.
What would I be able to stomach for basically everybody I know in my life to know that I sold out my body for money?
So I mean, so listen, you could like if I gave you $5 million today, I'm guessing you retire.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I don't think you can even retire on $5 million at 22.
Of
You gotta
course
keep
you
working.
can. I mean,
No.
dude, put it all in the stock market.
The stock market's sketchy right now.
Oh,
And-
yeah. Until the U.S. collapses as a country, you can at least put it into the GDP and make like $200,000 a year.
$5 million. It's a lot of money.
But you could also blow
let's
through it
find
pretty
a starting
quick.
point, right?
That's the problem is
So-
I know myself and I'm a degenerate and I know
Let's-
I blow through it.
Let's start with let's find a starting point. Okay, would you do it for $20 million?
It's not. It's not. It's not about the money, bro.
It's already
me
happening, Sean.
I'm out here, Zach. I'm out here like applying to like non-for-profits. Okay, like I can never work any of these places ever. You know, like what am I going to do with the rest of my life with my $20 million? Okay, like
Well,
suck my own dick for the next
I
50 years. You know,
mean, depending on your performance in the video, there may be follow-up offers.
I guess. Okay, I would probably do it for $20 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna need more than a probably though.
All right. God, I just don't. Like, I have some sort of moral foundation here that I'm selling for money.
Yeah, so like the question is, are you allowed to explain to other people that you made $20 million?
Yeah, totally.
Or-
That's a good question.
Totally,
Okay.
All right.
totally are.
Like, hey, everybody, look, I did this thing. I had this opportunity come up,
Yes.
and it was for $20 million in cash.
Yeah, and every guy
hope
you
you all
know is gonna be
understand.
like, I would have done that too, probably.
Yeah, right. Well, almost everybody would be, but it's like, you know, what if my passion in 5 years ends up like being like working with children, and the children find out that I did a porno, you know?
I mean, the
yeah.
children should not find out about that.
Maybe that's really popular.
What if I accidentally am talking to the children?
Hey guys, Uncle Sean was really cool back in his
Uncle
20s.
Johnny was a real killer.
What if the kids are taunting me? They're like, Uncle Johnny gets no puss. You know, what do I say?
Okay, all right. Yes, I would do it for $20 million. All
right.
Nice.
So what about 15 million?
Okay, I probably I'll save you the trip.
Yeah.
I got to think about it for a second. I do have a good concept of money, which is helpful in this.
It exists.
I think for sure anything less than like, you know, $2 or $3 million is like not actually like it's life changing. It is like, and I get that, but it's not gonna like, you know, 20 years from now, I'd probably be like, I probably shouldn't have done that, you know, or like maybe like feel a little bad about it. But like 5 million plus, it's like probably not gonna feel that bad about it. And it's like I can help a lot of people. I gotta think about that too. I can help a lot of people with $5 million and like really take care of people in my life and whatnot.
That's true.
Yes,
Just for like a brief cameo.
This might be a sacrificial.
Right.
When I frame it like that, I can kind of lower the
you're something of a porno martyr.
Yes, or a porno.
Yeah, like I'm doing this for you.
Right.
Right.
It's not for me anymore.
A real,
You know what? I'm gonna back down. I'm gonna go $1 million.
Wow, that was a big jump.
I like it.
At $1 million, I would do it for sure.
I agree because
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, I think that if I actually had it in front of you, you were going way too high.
Yeah, like if it was
that
like
check for 500 grand was sitting in front of you right now, I bet you sign it.
I don't think. I think $1 million's a number. I don't think I would do it for 500 grand. I know that's very like, I don't know if it's classicist of me or something, but I don't think I would do it. Like I'm gonna make that at some point, And it's like I'm not like struggling or anything. Like I'm comfortable enough, and I what am I gonna do with 500 grand? That's like that's not
You will. Let me tell you, my man. Let me pitch it to you. This is what you're gonna do with your 500 grand. You're going to buy you a nice house, man, somewhere. You're just going to buy it cash, no mortgage for the rest of your working life. You don't have to even think about it. You lose your job because they find the porno video. Guess what, motherfucker? Your monthly bills are like, they're nothing. They're like $500.
Like my goal is not to buy a house and settle down at 22 either. Yeah, think about that.
Okay. What's the goal?
I'm with Sean where it's like he's comfortable, right? And that wouldn't surpass the threshold of extreme, like radical change for a long time in his life, right?
Like I can't really stop working. Like if I get that, I can stop working for like 6 months or something or whatever.
How much do you guys think this porno would change your life at this point in 2023?
That's true. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I see what you're saying too. No. Well, I'm not saying like just work. Like I'm saying like the money itself is not buying me that much free time. And to me, free time is what is the most valuable to me probably in my entire life. Like my minutes where I am low stress and happy are probably the most valuable to me. And getting 500K would help that a little bit, but it probably would not, the amount that it would help would probably not surpass the, stress that the morality of it is bringing to me. And like I can't really take that much time off of work like in the business world even with like 500K or something and then like expect to just easily find a nice job in like a couple years too. It's a good question though, Zach. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Well orchestrated.
Well, it's just a little experiment I wanted to run. I think Colin's number would be pretty low.
Yeah. Very low.
It's almost free.
It would be like $20 or something.
Okay. You got any other philosophical questions? I'm going to call that a philosophical question.
It is in a sense. Yeah. I mean, in a certain
something
aspect.
of a lifestyle scenario.
Yeah, it's
a little bit of like how much are you going to sell part of your soul for?
Right. Just so you guys know, Wings of Redemption's answer was
$5,000. Oh man,
dude,
$5,000.
Does Wings need some help or something, man?
No, he's good. He's gonna fight Boogie here next month.
Okay, that's good.
And that'll bring in some cash.
That's 50 grand right there, and then he's getting
nice.
a bunch of sponsorships.
Very nice.
Can we get let's get an update on the Wings of Redemption versus Boogie fight here, actually, if you guys
I thought you were going to ask for an update on our sponsorships, and I'm going to tell you I'm working on it.
Yeah, tell me who's sponsoring us this week.
Good question.
What about oatmeal?
I was going to say, I have two sponsors for this week, specifically because this week they have changed my life. There is a brand of oatmeal, and I'm gonna say it out loud.
Give him a shout out. Yeah,
okay.
Give him the whole.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them the whole thing.
They'll
Hold on.
reimburse us retroactively.
Yeah, they'll go back in time. Yeah, I mean, okay, it's Better Oats is the company.
Yeah.
Probably the best company ever. Cinnamon roll oatmeal. Okay,
You
best
got a
oatmeal I've ever
wrapper?
had.
You got a wrapper
Set
or
the
something?
scene for us. Yes.
I'm in my boxers. Let me just.
This is gonna be so
Here he
hot.
goes. He's
there's
going to
this-
get it.
I don't know why. His...
Sorry, I like to be as comfortable as possible in these podcasts. You know.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And sometimes when I talk to you guys, my clothes just start,
Flying off.
They fly off. I get
All right,
it.
so here we go. We got Better Oats. Okay. 100 calories, cinnamon roll oatmeal. The oatmeal I was having previously, thinking that I was being a health nut still, eating oatmeal, was 170 calories. Tastes worse than this oatmeal. And I can now have 2 packets of this oatmeal and a scoop of peanut butter. 270 calories. Awesome snack. Feels great. Tastes amazing. And my second sponsor
Wow.
is going to be all of kombucha. Everybody who creates it, consumes
Yes.
I've not had a bad one yet. There was one that was a bullshit one that like they use fake bacteria or whatever. It's actually probably the most popular one. I can't remember what it's called, but
Not
everybody
kombucha?
besides them,
Is it
big shout out.
Fake bacteria.
Yeah, like it was like because they all say the probiotics or whatever. I guess this one's like the probiotics are actually dead.
Sean
And,
drank 3 of them
they
yesterday.
ferment it, and if you ferment it, it kills all the bacteria. I guess. Little controversy in the kombucha industry.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard about it.
It's a big deal.
So those are our sponsors for the week, I think.
Wow, shout out to Better Oats and the entire kombucha idea.
Yeah, literally the idea. People that drink it, people that make it,
Just everything
bacteria
about
that
it.
are in it.
Yeah, dude. I got a lot of those fuckers swimming around in my gut right now.
Multiple trillions.
Lucas, and I want to give a shout out to you for reminding me that it exists because I had been pumping diet soda because I need something that's not water to drink without wanting to die. And I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, you're way better off with the bubbly waters and the kombuchas because it
I don't know if
kind of
it's
does the
because-
same thing.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's. It's the same craving that's satisfying, and I don't know if it's because there's caffeine in it or something. But I swear, and maybe it's the whatever placebo effect, but I swear I feel pretty good after drinking one.
All right,
But
guys,
there is
so,
caffeine in most of them because it's tea.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at an article right now on a website called Game Rant. If you guys want to look this up and follow along, Game Rant Boogie 2988 fight with Wings of Redemption. If you type that, it should pop right up for you. And I really just want you to see the sexy picture of these two fellas next to each
Okay.
other. Just let me know when you got that pulled up.
Game Rant. Leaked DMs.
Yeah, hit that up. Yeah, hit that one up.
Boogie's got a nice smile, honestly.
Well, those are fake teeth because he
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he
I forgot about
ate
that.
his real teeth away with sugar.
And here's the photo of Jordy that people always send to the news.
Yeah, Bernie Gores,
Yeah, Bernie Gores.
which is just a little burn N word. If you say it, that's the troll idea.
So what am I looking for on this article?
So I'm nothing in particular. I really wanted you guys to see the picture. I've got it up on the big screen for everybody who's watching. But apparently, it says in the headline, the subheader, leaked Twitter DMs from Wings of Redemption appear to confirm plans and pay for his boxing match against fellow YouTuber Boogie2988. So it says rumors of Boogie2988 versus Wings of Redemption match have been swirling for several weeks now, but having a match fully booked is a complicated process. Blah, 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 blah. Happy Punch Promotions, which I believe works with Keemstar. Yes, they do. So Keemstar, who's, kind of an internet classic guy, is the one putting this whole thing on. So it looks like I'm kind of looking at the DM here. It's like a video thumbnail. It's a DM from Keemstar to Wings, and it says, let's see what we got here. It says, guys, I still don't have the contracts yet. They're telling me tomorrow. All week it's been like this. but you both have my word that this is very much real, and we are very much really doing this. Pay will be $10,000 each, and I will fly your girl, Wings. So Wings' wife is going to be flying out. It's going to be 10 grand each, which is not the 50 grand that they were sort of told. It would be a lot of attention because this is a KSI fight. And by the way, who gives two shits and a fuck about KSI fighting a real boxer?
Yeah, he's gonna get dogged.
He's gonna get just beat the fuck. But Boogie and Wings are the opening fight, and I feel like if you watch those numbers, your boy Wings is gonna be like very highly viewed.
Yeah, he'll draw some views for sure.
Memes. Here, 1 second. I gotta grab my charger.
Oh yeah, it'd be so awesome if this happens.
Oh, it'll be so awesome, dude. Oh, what happened to Sean? Oh, he's naked. That's right. I thought I messed up his video because it's black, but he did that.
No, don't worry.
He did that because he's naked.
Like my little slider that makes my screen black.
I do like that, actually. It's very
That's some
security
serious
conscious
technology.
of you.
What's that?
It's very security conscious of you.
Yeah, they're watching me. I know they're watching me because I know what I can put on people's stuff. It's crazy.
I'm watching you.
I'm back.
All right. So, fellas, what are we going to talk about here?
I have another a sponsor that
Do you?
I've been working on for the past 2 days. It's not quite finished yet. Whoa, am I getting some reverb there from
A little
someone?
bit.
It's a Lego. Shout out to Lego.
Nice.
Hey, I just applied to a job at Lego. Please hire me. I'm
Hire
sure.
Shout out to
Sean over at
Lego.
Lego.
Send us free Legos that we can build of our heads.
That'd be
As
sweet.
you guys can see, I've almost completed the Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah,
gonna
and
be-
Lego,
it's gonna be
if
sitting on
you
my
do,
desk.
make sure you get my locks extra luscious.
Yeah, we should be. We'll be expecting life-sized Lego kits of ourselves.
Yep.
I'm thinking maybe I don't know, 2 weekends from now. Does that sound
Well,
good?
here's what I thought. I thought you were going. Yeah, I mean, 8. 9.
We'll send Lego the dimensions later.
Yeah, we'll send full body dimensions, and you can shoot those over to us. I'll be kind of looking out for it this weekend in the mail. I think that'd be a great sponsorship for us. I'd just like us to. You know what's cool about us asking for sponsorships is like it might happen one day. You know.
Yeah, right. And then it would be really funny.
You think anybody?
And what's hilarious is we just asked for sponsorships with absolutely no way for anybody to contact us.
Wait, do we not have an email attached to this?
No, we don't have.
Yeah, there should be, make a no means no email.
Oh, we have one. I don't know what it is, but we have a Google account because we have a YouTube.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
So we have one.
So if someone tried really hard and really wanted to be our sponsor, they could reach out.
Well, they can just just leave a comment. Okay, we'll get back to you.
They can leave a comment.
with your name and phone number. We'll get back to you.
And we'll
Hit us
call
up
you.
at no means no podcast at gmail.com. You
Yeah, it's perfect.
send it over.
There we go.
I guess no means no at gmail.com probably wouldn't be the best email.
That's why
It's
we throw
no means no
podcast in there.
podcast at gmail.com.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the no means no thing. I mean, it sounds like a helpline or something.
Well, you know,
Yeah, good point.
That's what we do here, though.
To be fair, we are a helpline.
Right.
If people want to, that's a good point. If people ever want to call in while we're doing these live, even though they have no clue when we're doing them,
I would love that.
feel free to call us right now. Go back into the past, hit us with a phone call mid-episode so that we can help you
That would
with
be
any
pretty
of your.
sweet.
I feel like some prank calls need to occur.
Yeah, definitely. At some point, we should do some prank calls.
I feel like we need to plan out maybe a little bit.
Well, we need
Okay.
to set up Skype or some phone call method for one.
Yeah.
What we can do is, first of all, we need to get Dami to do it because he will do it without any shame.
That's true.
I could be convinced, but Dami does not need to be convinced. He'll just do it. And then you think it'd be? Is there a way to get it on the podcast, like the other side, or no? Besides just like a mic, or like how did like PKA do it?
Skype.
I actually really like Skype. I have it for tutoring.
Hmm.
Zoom, I don't know why we were using Zoom and not Skype. It confuses me. Like Zoom now, if you don't pay like a decent amount of money per year, you can't have meetings that are over 40 minutes long. What's up with that, Zoom?
Have you ever used Google Meet?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, you gotta use. I mean, Google Meet's probably the same as Skype, but I mean, it's like way, way better. We have our entire company on Google Meet, everything.
Yeah, I was like looking for things that work well for tutoring, and I was like, well, shoot, Skype now has screen sharing. It's got infinitely long meetings. It actually, when you call someone, it creates a chat, and then that chat is saved, so you almost have a text message. So if I want to send photos or problem solving or like anything, it goes to that chat, and then the student can go back and look at that chat from our call.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I've really liked. I was like, dude, what the heck? Like, why have I been using Zoom ever? They're cutting me off at 40 minutes like a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah.
So is that just because you're not part of an organization now, so you don't get it?
Because the organizations pay for
Right. Okay.
Zoom, basically.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, Zoom kind of blows. Like the audio side of it blows. You can't really set up anything.
Well, their company is kind of tanking right now.
Good.
Yeah,
Side
they
note.
were a COVID company pretty much
Yeah.
exclusively, so that makes sense. But I don't do group meeting. We can try other group meetings for the show. Different formats or whatever, just try stuff, but for now.
Shout out to Discord though.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
dude.
Discord.
Awesome.
Dude, shout out to Discord for finally integrating with PS5 after 10 long years of
we were
not
gaming
doing it.
last night,
For some
and
reason.
Sean was actually able to hear
Fucking ridiculous.
the game. Sean, how can you show us how you were gaming before?
Oh, yeah. Oh, pff, yeah.
So Sean was.
Because
So
you've
Sean,
never seen it.
yeah. So Sean's been on PlayStation. We're all on PC, and we were like, well, we're not going to do this in-game audio fucking bullshit. We're going to be on Discord, right? Because we're all on PC. But Sean has had to, I guess I'll ask him, exactly what's going on. But I think he had headphones, a headset for the game audio over headphones, to talk to us in Discord, which is not conducive to good sound whoring at all.
Of course, I can't find a name. Oh, no, here they go. Perfect.
And he loses stuff a lot too. That's another
So
thing.
yeah, and so I just want you guys to know. So number one issue is that I always lose my earbuds. Like I don't know where they go, but I also have a horrible habit of never buying things that I need. So I've usually had like one pair of earbuds at any given time, never two.
Mhm.
So I always lose the one pair. So if you can imagine, I got these guys, right?
Normal
Yeah.
ass.
And this is just normal ass. I just stick them into my computer. Okay.
Right, with Discord
And I
on
could
it.
do it to my phone, but I do my computer usually for whatever reason. I just kind of like having it up like that. And
That number. Yeah. Headset over.
4 chords.
Wow.
I can't hear anything. And
So the sound canceling effect is nice.
it took about a year. I swear I'm not just saying this either. It took about a year for my ears to not be sore after gaming because of the earbud being in there for like 3 hours. Like,
Yeah. Can we
That
see
is
what it looked
annoying.
like last night for the first time?
it was incredible. I could hear you guys and the game at the same time. It was awesome.
Is it like pretty easy to use navigate Discord on the PlayStation? They've got it figured out or no?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that kind of sucks is you still have to get into Discord on a different device, but then you just click a button and it shares it. So it's nice. But again, like they should have figured this shit out like forever
Yeah,
ago.
I mean that should have been
come on, man.
that should have been a launch. That should have launched with the PS4 back
That
in
should have
like
launched with crossplay,
2014. Like that should have been around for a decade now, and we just got it.
And we don't even play any games anymore because they all suck.
Yeah. Can we talk about for a second how bad games are? Like,
Bro,
okay,
you're playing
single player
fucking Fall
games.
Guys.
Yeah, we're playing Fall Guys. Yeah.
We're grown ass adults playing Fall Guys, having a great time. Shout out to Fall Guys.
Sponsor us.
You're epic. It's epic, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's one fucking guy who made it in his apartment. Like I think that's actually the
It's a very
case.
simple game. But yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, so single player games are fun. Like I'm playing Resident Evil 4 right now, the remake, of course.
Lego Star Wars was a blast.
Streaming that. I've been streaming Resident Evil 4 for the guys. They've been watching it. It's a good time. We get together. I game. They watch. They commentate. It's like watching a movie for them. For me, it's like playing a game. Obviously. I was doing Elden Ring before that. Masterpiece. Like absolutely one of the best games I've ever played. Like single player games come out pretty consistently. Pretty cool. But they cannot make a multiplayer experience that's captured anybody's attention worth a damn, which is such a shame because it felt for a while there like every year or every 6 months there was something sick coming out. Like specifically talking about like 2011 to 2015, right in there. It's like every 6 months a new multiplayer experience was coming out that people were like you would actually really want to spend like 2, 3, 4 hours playing it straight. And that was fun. And it even happened again with Modern Warfare 2019 for us with Gunfight. Like everybody else, it happened with Warzone. For us, it was Gunfight because I don't like battle royales. Lucas doesn't like battle royales. Sean likes Fortnite, but not really like battle royales. So we enjoyed Gunfight because we enjoy that PvP experience. But,
yeah, and then they didn't add it into the next installment of Modern Warfare. It was like the one good thing about that game.
We played so many 1v1s and 2v2s, just us four with Colin.
Yeah, right. Not even. And that was another interesting thing where it's like we were having the most fun offline, just the four of us playing Call of Duty 2v2s against each other. Not like grinding XP like it used to be. We're not like trying to, get to master prestige and it's all about the grind. And you're just like having fun, just grinding and playing online with, you didn't even need to have your friends. You just get on and play against randos because it was just fun to grind and the games felt good. And now we're having the most fun, not even playing with other people other than us four. It's
private matches. We've like gone full circle. We're doing like LAN parties, even though they're online, like where people would bring their Xbox over to their buddy's house and plug in their Xbox. So you've got 2 Xboxes and then you do split screen on each of them and you do 2v2s in like Halo 2, back in the day. It's like it's gone full circle for us. That's what we were pretty much doing. I mean, we were doing the online version of it, but it's like we're not playing with, we're not leveling up anything here. We're in private matches. We're the progression, who the hell cares? It's hard. I don't know why it's so hard now. Maybe it's just lack of desire or need for innovation, but we've hit a need for innovation at this point. So like maybe in the next 2 years, 3 years, you'll see a game that, because they started innovating now, in 3 years when their game comes out, it'll be like, this is new and exciting, I hope. Because holy shit.
Yeah. And I think there's nothing for the casual gamer. And in reality, that's what we are. Like, there's some stuff for the people who are like insane and like League of Legends, like that type of thing.
That game's been around for forever.
I know, but like there's still people who are psychos about it.
Right.
And like there's some games like that. Even Overwatch is a good one. Like, a few of my friends every single day are grinding Overwatch 2, which is shocking to me. Because I enjoy hopping on there and playing a couple of them, but I think it's kind of boring. But There's nothing for the person like me. Like, I'm the target audience. There's a lot of me's out there who want to hop on the game after work for like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours if it's a really good game, and then go do something else. There's nothing for me to do besides watch Zach for an hour and a half every night. On a video game, which is frustrating.
To me, that's what COD used to be, and to a lot of people, is like you can play COD at any length. You can play for 10 minutes or you can play for 10 hours. You pick. It goes in 10-minute increments. Like Sean wants to play an hour after work, he'll get 6 games of domination or 5 games of dom, 6 games of TDM, whatever it is. And now it's like that's not even fun to do anymore. So it's like, what is the, and COD used to be slightly more than casual. Now it's like very casual, in my opinion, like too casual. Like you watch one of my favorite streamers, Eris, hop on COD, and it's hilarious, but he's horrible. I mean, can barely aim. And the people that he's getting put into lobbies to also can barely aim because of skill-based matchmaking. That's a fun experience to watch, but it's not fun to play. When you're against people, go ahead.
I don't know. It could be a consequence of people just in general growing up now with video games and just becoming better at them. That like there's a bigger skill discrepancy than like when it first started. Like I mean, when like Fortnite came out, the best part of it was just completely random lobbies with anybody, and you're playing some potatoes, and as a whole, everybody's kind of a potato. And then you get like 1 or 2 people who are gods or are good. But now it's like if I hop into a Fortnite lobby that's not skill based, I'm getting my shit rocked. So it just kind of priced out the casual gamers, especially because like if you think about how it's weighted, like if one person in a lobby is like the best person in the world, like you're not going to have a good time playing that game, period. Even if everybody else is a potato, like you're probably going to get killed by the guy who's a god, or like there's a pretty good probability you're going to run to this guy and your whole game's ruined at some point throughout the game, or the squad or whatever. And it's like, that's not really fun for the casual gamers.
The problem seems to be that games are made almost exclusively, and decisions within the games by the developers are made exclusively for monetary gain. There's almost no heart in game making anymore. There's like they don't care about the gamer. They care about the gamer's money. So it's like they don't care about the art of the game. Like you look at a game like BioShock, like the original BioShock. It's a masterpiece. Like if you pull up a video of any gameplay in BioShock, the world they created, the story, the design, it's like you can tell that somebody sat down and wrote an amazing script for this game, a script that could have been a movie. And then they sat down and they designed a whole universe, a group of people. They got with an art team and they created all this. And guess what? When it came out, it cost $59.99. You can buy it. You can play it as many times as you want. You have absolutely all of the content on it. Here it is. Enjoy. Nowadays, it's like if BioShock came out, it would be like, this is BioShock. I can't wait for you to play BioShock. It's so awesome. We hit our mandatory 10 hours of gameplay that we think is mandatory, and, the characters aren't that fleshed out, but look how good it looks on these modern consoles. It's so pretty. It's like people are so far past pretty in games now. You want a compelling story. You want something enjoyable. It's like, have you seen the Mercedes? I believe it's Mercedes. They have a car now where certain features are locked on the car. So they make all the cars the exact same rather than doing different trim levels. And some of the features are locked on the car if you don't purchase them or you don't get a high enough trim level.
That's pretty crazy.
So it's like DLC for your car. It's downloadable content. It's an update for your car.
Damn, that's insane.
And you got to wonder if they took that idea from the gaming industry, because it's pretty obvious one.
Yeah, I've never thought of something like that, and one makes me wonder what else could it could it seep into?
It's tricky because it's essentially a variation though of like, you know, like say like Tesla, you can buy just like the base level Tesla, but you can also buy all the cool shit. It's just that like there's always a potential to upgrade to the cool shit. But like, does that make it worse than the fact that I can only afford the $30,000 Tesla and I could get a $60,000 Tesla that's the same model and just has a longer battery range and all this other stuff? But I didn't. You know, so is it like
what makes it worse is that your car is capable of it. Like,
okay,
like my car.
I see. Okay, so it's like locking it to.
They just turned it off. They could flip a switch and turn it on. They just turned it off.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy, actually. And, you know, but it's like that is interesting to me. But it's like then like my Sirius XM turned off recently. Finally, after the guy paid $8 a month for 6 years for me.
That's insane.
6 years for me to have Sirius XM in my car, and it was awesome. But I could just repurchase it technically, and my car has the capability to stream Sirius XM at any time.
That's true. That's true.
But there's levels of it for sure.
Right.
Yeah, and it's
there's
also
levels
like
of frustration.
It's like, would it even be profitable to make a car with all the capabilities? Because then you have to spend the money to make the car that has all those capabilities. But then what if everyone's only buying the cheaper version and no one's upgrading?
It would have to all be like programs that are like, you know, cost. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Imagine I just get axe murdered right now. Someone shut off my lights and now they're coming to axe murder me.
Who shut off your lights?
Nah, at 1 o'clock, Alexa, lamp on. At 1 o'clock, the lamp goes off.
That was terrifying. I was expecting a Jeff the Killer face to appear.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But like, I mean, yeah, it would have to be something where it's like the software is a one-time fee for the company to create or to pay somebody to create. And then once they have the software, they can just.
I've got the article up here. It's a Bloomberg article.
I like Bloomberg stuff.
Yeah. This is basically the title is Mercedes to charge $1,200 fee to make its cars go faster. Mercedes-Benz AG is trying to sell buyers of its electric sedans a $1,200 annual add-on that unlocks a feature of the luxury vehicles that all of the luxury vehicles are capable of, and it will shave off just under 1 second on getting from 0 to 60.
That's
so $1,200 a year to save, you know,
to go a little faster.
Man, as a company, it's like
the engine is already in the car. Like,
yeah.
And so it's like, so here's the question. If a mechanic got underneath the hood, tuned it up, hacked in, bypassed that for free, is that a legal problem?
It's like jailbreaking your phone. It's the same thing.
Right. Because
what's the difference?
Right. I just took $1,200 from Mercedes, though. You know, when I'm signing the lease, you know, buying it from Mercedes, is there something in there that says I can't do that? At which case, I'm really just leasing this car. It's just, you know, I'm not free to do whatever I want with this car. You know, and it's kind of like the video. It's kind of like the video game thing. Like, I actually don't own a copy of any of the video games that I purchased in the last whenever, as long as they're digital. I don't own them.
Right, yeah, if you don't have the CD.
I just lease the right to play them. I can't resell them. You know, I cannot get involved with the code of it, mod it up.
Yeah, those would be some interesting terms and conditions. Like even in like the video game version, like I wonder what's in there right now to stop a company from. There's got to be some sort of contract essentially that you're signing with the company when you purchase a video game.
It's a lease agreement. Yeah, you don't own your video games. You're leasing the ability to play them, which for most people is fine. Like that's why most people do it, and they don't care about it and they don't think about it because it's a video game. This is not a big purchase. But where it could suck is like, okay, you pay $60 for a game, and in 5 years when there's only 20,000 people, playing it, well, that costs a lot of money to keep those servers up. So maybe the company that makes the game decides to shut down the servers, and you can no longer play this game anymore that you paid for.
Can they do like? Do you know if a company can do that?
Yeah, they can.
have them?
They did it with Halo 2. They shut off the Halo 2 server, so you cannot play Halo 2 multiplayer anymore. Now Halo 2 is an old game. It's really old. It's probably it's over a decade old, over 15 years old. But if you wanted to pop your disc in and say I'm a YouTuber or an internet celebrity, and I put on Twitter, hey guys, I'm hopping on Halo 2 on the Xbox, and 5,000 other people who see that tweet and they're like, I want to hop on and play that with him. We cannot do that. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
So it is truly,
that's whack.
It's truly a lease agreement.
Because they can just shut it down. Even if you paid money to play it.
Right. So it's just an interesting, like, how far will companies take that at this point? Because they'll take it pretty far, I think.
Well, it's funny that the thing that's stopping that from happening is like kind of it's more of a societal and social pressure rather than like an actual like it's like the capitalistic, like, maintain your company's standing so you can continue to get sales forever. But if your company shuts down or goes bankrupt or something, then there's nothing stopping them from just flipping the switch on everything. Like Mercedes got in a big scandal. Like, that would be my concern if I bought a Mercedes, like some sort of big scandal happens or whatever. You never know what could happen. And they go bankrupt, and then they just are like, sorry, flip your switch on your upgrade that you bought. You can't use it anymore.
Right. I mean, if they have that much access digitally to your car, who's to say that they're, and you got to, at that point, it's like, you literally, you have to get like an attorney to come with you to the car dealership to read through the contract you're signing with Mercedes when you purchase the car to make sure it doesn't say, oh, and we may stop all software for your car, and all of a sudden your electric engine doesn't turn on.
Yeah, that would be some apocalyptic type shit.
Right. And nobody worries about that with Tesla, because it's like, Elon's always going to have the cash, and he's like he's one of those guys that would never let that happen. He would rather die. But like, you don't know about these other people. You don't know anything about them.
Well, I mean, and I remember seeing somebody talking about Tesla and why people were still buying their stock. Obviously, their stock's kind of tanked the last couple of years, but like when it was at its peak, like, why are people still buying the stock of a company that's not profitable right now?
Right.
And I can't remember who was talking about it, but it was like Tesla at its core is a data company. Like, they're not really a car company. They sell a lot of data, and they collect a lot of data via, it's insane. I mean, I'm just peeking through the article of what they can do with that car legally. And you wonder, like, how far you can take that and how valuable it is to a company. So I'll tell you what, man, even in my very, very, very limited experience with digital advertising, it's like a customer's full, we call them IGIs, like information, like a full customer information, name, phone number, address, email, is worth a pretty good amount of money to me, like, as a marketer in this small business. Like, I imagine it's worth a lot of money to somebody who could sell a Tesla to them. And
right.
It's kind of scary, man.
And somebody who can afford a Tesla's info is worth more, because they have enough money to afford whatever you would like to sell them.
Yeah, I mean, I send mailers. It's almost messed up. It's like when I send a postcard to people, I will say, if household income's under 100K, I'm not sending them a postcard.
Right, exactly.
Like, why would you send them a postcard? Why would I take my limited resources and spend them somewhere where somebody's less likely to buy? And that almost takes you into a different conversation of like how that can affect like equity in some ways too.
Right. It's a weird, man. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, because then there's certain groups of people that are just never, being informed about whatever, all these marketers have going on, or they're not really being thought about. And then all of a sudden they're getting left behind in all sorts of different ways. It's
true. I mean, it's just the thing that happens. And like, I would say I'm more on the side of like, life's not fair, and some things are just not fair and some things are. And, that might just fall into that category of like, it's just kind of not a fair thing. But you can see how that can stem into how in our system how the inequality will inevitably grow over time, no matter what. Even if the inequality is going up as a collective, like, like the entire population is moving up, but the inequality will always continue to grow. And I feel like it's sometimes because of things like that. So
Totally.
Yeah. Problem is, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Why would I send them a postcard? Damn it.
It's like I feel bad. Like what? Like I feel like I'm like, man, I got this killer 20% off, 60 months, no interest financing offer, and I'm only sending it to people who've got 150K coming into their house. Like, it's kind of nuts.
It's what the statistics say.
It's actually crazy. So Facebook recently, within the last few months, started flagging some of my and not just me, like a lot of businesses posts, because they would post financing offers directed towards middle and lower end consumers, and they considered that to be discriminatory, which was interesting to me. And I don't know where you draw the line and stuff like that, but it was like a whole thing, because I have like a customer list of we have an index. It's called like a furniture buying index. And that number determines how likely that person is to buy furniture. And that number is determined by location in relation to the store, household income, demographics, age, sex, race, all those things. And, there's somewhere they move the line a lot, but there's a line somewhere where it's like okay to send things to certain groups of people and not okay to not send things to other groups of people. Because like I can't say like, hey, every white person that comes in today gets 20% off, right?
Yeah, right.
But essentially that's what I'm doing sometimes, right? Like if you think about it too hard, but yeah, Facebook started getting mad about some of my posts about financing because they consider it to be a little bit discriminatory. So
yeah, that's interesting. You take it too far, and it ends up as only whites or only women get the, like only ridiculous things.
That's all I send them to. That's all I want to send to.
It's the spectrum, it's like, where are you at on the spectrum of giving certain people deals and not other people? And it's not even giving them deals. It's letting them know about them. It's like the knowledge of the deal is being sent only to these people, right?
That's where you get into the legality of it. Like that's how it's legal, really.
Right. And like, I send out a postcard that says, bring this postcard in for 20% off and special financing. Like that's what's on our postcards most of the time, because that's how we track it. That's how I know that my postcard was received and used. And obviously we run flat discounts all the time too. But like we had a market specifically where I sent out a postcard because we were trying to gain some market share in that territory, that said, bring this postcard in for this offer. And there were people who were in those lower tiers of income that did not get that postcard. And it's like, is that discriminatory? Like, I mean, kinda, but like, it's just one of those gray areas that they don't, it just isn't really cared about right now. So, but also like, is it not, but like that group of people I'm sending it to has historically also been the most likely group of people to buy the furniture.
Right. So is it smart?
Exactly. So you've got some... Right, you've got some serious logic behind it. You're like, these are the people that buy my furniture, so I send them postcards. It's like, is
that fair? I don't know.
You're like, I'm just sending it to people who buy my furniture. I didn't even know that it was mostly men. Like,
right.
Or mostly, I didn't even know it was mostly women making all these decisions. Yeah.
And again, like it's not a problem right now, but it's just something that I've thought about while I'm doing it. Is like, like a lot of these groups of people are very similar groups of people,
Yeah.
And I'm giving them an opportunity to get a discount that I'm not giving other people, which is just kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
And furniture is a big purchase, man. I mean, like,
it's expensive.
It's insane.
Dude,
like
furniture is super expensive. Why is it so expensive, by the way?
You want me to tell you why it's so expensive?
I actually don't.
Real quick, let me tell you. Yeah. Because you can't compare it to anything. Because if you look at a couch, Zach, have no idea what that couch should be worth.
Right.
But if you go in the store and you look at a carton of eggs, you know, you can go to the Target next door and get the same exact eggs for the same price, or for the cheaper price or whatever, you know. And it's like when we have couches in our store that nobody else has in Champaign and nobody else has in Bloomington and whatever, we can price them at whatever we want. Like, you know, I just have to convince you that that's worth $3,000 somehow. Like, and it's the margins are pretty nuts.
So if some guy came in and he had like the cost printed out of the wood, the cloth, and he included like say a 25% labor to put it together, and he had this all printed out for you, your salesman would be in a bit of a pickle, perhaps, negotiation wise.
The biggest pickle we run into is price matching. Our Ashley a website,
obviously,
but like our prices
like
are
the corporate,
20%.
like they're getting it from corporate website, and they're being like, "Why the fuck are you $400 higher than corporate website?" And you're just and your guys say
double.
I'm serious. Like sometimes it's double,
and your guys are just like, "Well, there's a lot of transportation fees." Transportation fees, you know, local factories, stuff like that. It kind of varies location to location. Corporate's really what you would call a minimum amount that you would be offered. And yes, if you did want to have a corporate one shipped to you, I could probably get you an estimate on how much that would cost. It's going to be a couple grand. I mean, just getting it over here, you know, that's probably the route they go with, I would imagine.
There's many outs for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who
corporate will just randomly run a crazy special, and then we don't even know about it. But then
they don't give you a heads up.
No, God, no, dude, it's terrible. It's a bad relationship. It's ugly. But in some ways, like it is what it is. But no, they don't give us a heads up every time. It's frustrating in marketing for sure.
That is frustrating in marketing,
and the salespeople get frustrated too.
Yeah, there goes your whole week or month. God forbid, you know, for sales, it's gonna be way harder.
Their pay is very tied to the margin that we get on the furniture.
Sure.
Like, so they're incentivized, and this isn't just furniture; this is everywhere.
This
but
is
like,
all sales,
you're incentivized to make the business as much money as possible in different avenues, and not just say, "Yeah, this couch right here today only, it's 50% off just for you," and just like make sure you sell it. So the perfect place to sell the furniture at is where they would pay the absolute most, and where we would take somewhere in the middle of there is where like you negotiate to, and we want it to be as close to us, right?
Oh yeah, and then I would say, I mean, if I can't imagine, I can imagine there are a lot of people that come in to an Ashley store and not realize that it's not a corporate store.
Oh, they have no idea. That's our biggest thing that we have to overcome is that you walk in. That's so funny. It's a conversation we have every day. Is like, how do we overcome the objection of like convincing somebody this is a small business and it's locally owned? Do we do that, or do we just roll with it? Yeah, we're corporate Ashley.
Yeah,
and just roll with it and just forget about it.
You would almost make more money if you guys were called, you know, Ben's, you know, home store. Furniture home store.
And there's but we can't get the special Ashley pieces if we do that.
Sure.
That's
of course. Yeah, you have to have that's their, you know, you got to have that name attached. And you know, I'm sure people are coming into Ashley because of that name recognition, but but it's also like, damn, we're competing with ourselves to a certain extent
all the time.
Yeah.
And we've actually decided, so like in one of our markets, it's very tight knit, like community, small city. That market, it's first thing when you walk in the door, you learn that we are locally owned and we're a small business and we're a family business and all those things. And in two of our other markets, you never will hear about it. You won't see anything that says anything about it. And that's just the route that we've gone. Like if somebody asks, yeah, we'll tell them we're locally owned small business. But in reality, in those places, that's not why they came to the store. They came to the store because they know the brand of Ashley, and they know what furniture they're buying, and they don't really necessarily care that we're small business. So it's just interesting stuff. There's more licensees than you'd expect in general, just in like business period. Like a lot of places that you think are corporate are not corporate.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely true. just like things that you didn't know owned other things. Pretty funny.
Like Pepsi is a great one. I always talk about Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Like, dude, Pepsi owns everything.
Oh, dude!
Right.
Speaking
Let
of
me
corporate
see.
stores, I went into AT&T today to trade in my old phone for our upgrade because we just got new phones, and so I'm trading in the old one for a credit or whatever. And they say the iPhone 12 is supposed to be worth $800 towards your new phone, right? iPhone 12, whatever. So hold on, let me grab it. Here it is. iPhone 12. No cracks on the screen, right? Charges
Looks good.
perfectly, runs perfectly. Nothing wrong with it, right? There's a crack on the back. See that?
Yeah.
It's cosmetic. The Apple designs with a glass back for some reason. I think that's stupid. I think it looks terrible, and it's obviously designed to cause accidents like this so that they can.
So they don't
repair
have to
them.
shell out money. Yeah.
What would you wager this is worth now from 800 with the crack in the back?
200 to 300.
Yeah, 350. Apple, okay, just bear this in mind. It costs $125 to replace this. It costs $350 to replace the back screen.
Damn, that is ridiculous. It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do
Zach,
anything.
I had the same thing happen with they offered me a way lower amount because my front screen was cracked, and I swear to you, I went like a block away and got the front screen fixed. Went back to the place, said I got the front screen fixed, and they offered me like 3 times as much as it cost me to fix the front screen.
I know, and the thing is, it's almost negligible. This for me to repair this somewhere else, so it saves me like $150.
Right.
Literally almost negligible, and also I have to take time, right, out of my day to go to a repair place and have them do this, and I got to do it within 15 days now. So I got to get in there, get scheduled in some local place. It's like, I guess I'm just going to pay the difference, but it's like, damn, Apple literally screws customers like this, man. It literally designs their product to screw people out of money, and it's bullshit.
Yeah, that's absurd that the screen that you spend hours and hours touching and staring at and actually using on the phone can be replaced for a third of the cost of the part of the phone that literally does absolutely nothing functional for you.
Right. And so,
And as a matter of fact, 99% of the time, you can't see the part of the phone that Zach broke because this is exactly how it's being held.
well, and it's one of
That's
those things where it's like, okay, Apple was genius. Their their screens broke all the time. They're like, yes, this is awesome. We can, replace so many screens, sell people all these, new screens. We can sell screens online too. People can do it themselves, and then they'll fuck it up. So then they'll buy the screen online, fuck it up, and then have to bring it to us. So it'll be like almost double money. It's awesome. But then, okay, there's this, oh, damn it. Oh, God, I can't believe this sucks so much for Apple. People started inventing cases that protect your front screen. Oh, God, that sucks for us. That's terrible. Well, I guess we can get into the case business, but it's not nearly as profitable as our screen business. So what can we do about this? Increase the amount of glass on our phones. It's genius, Rob. Give him $40 million promotion. $40 million promotion for Rob to screw people like me out of your fucking... which I love my phone. Like, I love phones. They're great. Great phones. But, I mean, it's just such... When you rip off your best customers constantly, the people who are going to continue to buy iPhones forever, when you continue to rip those people off, I get it, but at some point, it gives me the right to say, fuck you, Apple, and fuck your greedy-ass company.
Yeah, and they'll never care until you consider something else.
And they shouldn't.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't.
And they technically shouldn't. And then it's kind of crazy that there's not a, well, in some ways it's crazy, in some ways it's not, but it's crazy there's not like another like real mainstream, competitor. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, there's not. All the other iOSs suck, and that's the main problem. The fact that Microsoft hasn't like dumped billions of dollars into something is beyond me. When
is
Elon
weird,
Musk said he
man.
was going to make a phone, I was very interested.
Me too.
The best thing that Apple ever did was just make everything integrated. That was it's like a case study, obviously, but I mean everything you have is Apple at some point, and it's like the cost to switch over to a different phone, even if it's marginally better, is usually higher than what you would be willing to accept.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The good thing is I don't have a MacBook. I don't have anything Apple except for my phone.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sitting here on my MacBook.
Yeah,
Although I do have a watch.
I
I got
got
my Apple Watch.
a a beastly computer, PC. It's got an NVIDIA graphics card. It's got an MSI motherboard. It's got nothing Apple about it. I've got Alesis studio monitors. I've got a Spectre video monitor. I've got, I pretty much stay away from Apple as much as I can. But for my phone, and they got the best wireless headphones out there in the game right now with the AirPods.
That's
I
true.
was going to ask you that. Yep.
So those are the two things. Yeah. They just got the best ones, like bang for your buck. Like I would consider the Bose ones, because they're just as good, but they're the same price. And you know that they're not going to work as well with the iPhone as the AirPods, because they can't.
Apple's probably stopping it from happening, actually.
Yeah, can you guys believe they can just fuck your battery life?
Yes. You know what's another thing I saw is that they added, without telling anyone, a setting on your phone that's like eco charging or something, where it's like,
Which I use.
and I actually went in and turned it off because it was like doing something weird where it's like only using specific energy as it's charging your phone, so as to reduce somehow the amount of energy being used. And I'm like, dude, no wonder my battery life has been dog shit the last couple of days ever since this update. It's like you're messing up my charge.
Is that
yours been dog
that
shit?
stretches out over the period of the night, like instead of just like charging it?
No,
No. Okay.
it's
okay.
not that.
Well,
it's
then I
not
don't
that.
use it. Because that's actually what helps wear on the battery life less.
No, that's smart. I'm talking about literally, I saw a tweet about it and I was like, this is probably one of those fake tweets, right? And then I followed the steps into settings and I was like, holy crap, there it is right there. I can turn it off.
Yeah,
It's not the one. Mine still will charge all night.
the iPhone 14 battery life is insane.
Yeah, now this one's great.
It's super low. Like, I never worry about charging it during the day. Ever.
It is nice.
It doesn't
Even
even
my
get
13
close.
still is it charge at night, and it's it's charged at the end of the day.
Yeah,
It's
I
nice.
think that the 14 was a pretty decent upgrade though in kilowatts. And the big one, the Max,
The
that
Plus.
one, that one has a crazy battery life. What is the battery life on that?
I think I saw an ad about how that one they were taunting the battery life or touting the battery life.
I just always feel like it should be longer somehow, but
Yeah, right?
It's 29 hours
damn.
Oh God, that is really long.
of videos being played.
Oh,
That's ridiculous.
there's no way that after like 2 months it's still 29 hours of videos.
That's what they've been. That's what I've heard, and then that's what they've been advertising. So it's like
I think it's
like plug your shit in for an hour, and then don't worry about it for a day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah, I mean,
that's-
if your screen time's only like 5 to 7 hours a day, like that'll last you darn near a work week.
Right. Well, boys, it's Wednesday. It's late. We all have early mornings.
We do.
I'm gonna call this a wild card.
Right. Not that I'm excited to leave. I am
Pretty good
excited.
pod. I enjoyed it.
I'm excited to go to bed.
Thank you, everybody, for watching episode 7 of the No Means No podcast. Without Dominic, no Mexicans. We're light a Mexican, and we're not even trying to be dark a Mexican. We'll see you all next week. Wild card.